We will call the meeting to order. First, we want to announce that Amy, I think, is leaving at 8 o'clock. You want to sound an alarm?
We can just.
All right,
Set a goal, 8 o'clock. That's right.
ordering and approval of agenda. Amy, we're going to have 2.1, we have a board presentation.
Yep.
Nope. I think that person's here, or do you want to move that down the list, or?
Probably. Mhm.
Should we move that down the list?
Because it was.
Put it on the administrators.
Yeah, that's not too.
Let's move that to 5 in case she's running late or something. So that would be 5.0 with the administrators, okay? Added items to the consent agenda.
Yeah.
You got 3.5 resignation of personnel, 3.7 accept CW-FIT grant, 3.8 SRO MOU.
Yes.
This is hard to read, by the way, guys.
Lots of acronyms.
I forgot my glasses, that's why.
Guys aren't long enough.
3.9 high school volleyball fundraiser. 3.10 update to policy EE food services management. Got all
Right,
that?
yep.
Okay. 4.1 personnel employment.
Yep.
We've already added 5.0 board presentation.
Mhm.
We have 7.6 non-resident student enrollment.
Yeah.
And that is all we have. Anybody else have anything?
Motion to approve the amendment.
Okay,
Second.
we have a motion right here and a second with Kylie. All in favor? Perfect. That brings us to 3.0 consent agenda. Everybody clear?
Motion to approve.
No questions? All right. Justin has a motion.
I'll second it. I might have one question, if this is part of it, sorry.
Okay.
Are these ones that were just printed today? Is that part of that? Only because I saw as I was looking on this one, the activity fund balance. It's zeroed out, some of these, Fund 01. You guys see that?
Oh, down what was crossed out.
Yeah, why the balance is zeroed out?
Can you be specific?
I can't.
On the high school.
Yeah.
At the end.
Yeah,
Page 2,
Yeah. Of the high school current cash balance.
page 2, high school
yeah, it
activity
was
funds.
like lunch, textbook.
Well, those are fees that would come over to the district.
Okay, so just
Transfer.
transfer.
Yeah, Line
Okay,
fees, district
Right.
fees, activity fees, those come over to the district because like we pay over the district, not the school pays both of them.
okay, so it's not that those funds are balanced out, it's just they're no longer,
Well, no, I think the money was transferred to the district.
okay,
Yeah.
all right, that
And
makes
yeah.
sense.
So that's why they should be zeroed out every month because they're transferred to the district every month.
Sounds good to me.
Yep.
Yep, all right.
Okay, so Justin had a motion,
Second.
Michelle has a second, all in favor? 4.0 personnel report. Faith, do you need an executive session?
Yes.
Yes, how much time do you need?
Let's try 20.
20? Okay,
Mr. President, I move we go into executive session to discuss personnel employment pursuant to non-elected personnel exception under COMA, and the open meeting will resume in the boardroom at 6:24 with Faith Boyd present.
okay, we have a motion right here,
I'll second.
and a second with Kylie, all in favor?
What is this?
amount of money and she has 12
Motion.
employees.
Because you get.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes, I mean, it's good company.
Anything planned in advance.
All right. We're back in session, thanks everybody.
I'll make a motion to approve the personnel report as presented.
All right, we have a motion personnel report,
I'll second it.
second is Michelle, all in favor? All right. We are. What's that, yes? We're 5.0, administrative reports, Alyssa, we moved you down since we didn't see you at the beginning, so you'd like to speak to us first?
Sure.
Okay.
I was just coming back to talk about the potential of adding the sixth grade to the cross country. I know that there's been some discussion about it and whether or not we do it this year or we hold off. And I just had a couple of thoughts. One, I've got a sixth grader that would really like to run, but also, while I would be really in favor of having sixth grade do middle school sports, I wouldn't be really in favor of sixth grade, like for cross country or any sport where you're not really capped on the number of people that are participating. But when you start talking about basketball and volleyball where there are only 5 kids or 6 kids on the floor at the time, having sixth grade up there to participate is gonna really start to run into some time crunch. And having a kiddo that's a senior that was in a class that had lots of boys participating, we frequently had 7th grade C team games where there was no one else in the league that had a C team game. And so he didn't get a lot of playing time and then just lost interest in playing basketball. And so I really like the idea of sixth grade being able to participate early for things where that's not gonna harm anyone else's playing time. But I wouldn't push to have my kids potentially taking someone's playing time by playing up. Just because I've seen what happens to those other kiddos that maybe aren't as advanced and need that playing time so that they can continue to develop. That's all I got.
Thank
you.
Thank
you. Do you wanna go into just with Mr. Murakami
I
about?
was gonna say, do you wanna give us your thoughts or what you've learned
Yeah.
since you've been working on this?
So, we sent a survey out to all the incoming sixth graders. We got 7 responses. 6 said they would do it. 1 said, no, thank you, don't want it. I don't know, they filled it out and said, if you wanna do it, please fill it out. And they said, thank you. Just totally fine. So we have that. So we're looking at 6. Something that we've kind of talked about is there are opportunities for sixth graders to do other sports in the community. And I know they're developing like volleyball. And one thing is, I don't want to pull kids from that if they're trying to get the program up and going. I don't think there's to be crossover, many of them. But at the same time is once we open the door for one sport, right, it's very similar to track. And talking to other ADs and coaches from around the area, one thing I got from them is some of the schools that have sixth graders who do track, they don't allow them to bring them to the meets because it's already from 4 to like it's just so much. And so for us to say, hey, you can only do one sport, right? When there could be a time down the road looking at class sizes, we have 50, 55 kids, right? And if 9 girls go out for basketball, right? You don't have a B team, right? You don't have a B team, and we want to be able to possibly fill it with some sixth graders at 7th grade level so we can have more kids develop a program. If we want to do this, I want to do it right. I want to look at the numbers over a year, kind of see where we're at, look at the 5th graders, talk about all the sports potentially, look at other schools around us, see positive, negatives they've had because they do more than just cross country. They do track, they do basketball, they do volleyball. Look at all of them and get a full picture of what challenges they've come across, if teams will play them, like how they do it with different sports, and just kind of do it right, get it set up so we have if we're going to do it, we have them integrated into the program moving forward. It's not just, hey, we'll do this and then do another sport the next year, and we'll need kids to do another sport the next year. Like, figure out where we're going to be at and really develop a program. So we're not just kind of like piecemealing together, here we go, and oh, we want kids, we need kids. we don't have enough kids, we can have more, right? And the next year, more do it, right? And then we're like, oh, well, I have 20 junior high kids that want to do that. And I'm like, oh, I might add 10 more, 15 more, right? Just going year to year, we want to develop a nice, solid program after looking at it for a year to decide. That's my thought on it.
So are you more thinking of doing an all or nothing type of thing?
No, I know, I want to
Or
look at
is it
all
like
of
in
it.
your, sorry, in your, but like, or, you know, okay, we look at this and then say, okay, it makes sense just to do cross country.
Yeah,
next
yeah,
year.
and that's what it is. If it comes down to, hey, it makes sense to do cross country, or maybe it's cross country in volleyball, or maybe it's cross country in track, and enough schools will let it happen, right? I want to look at it and try to see not all or nothing, right? It might just be it's only one that works out, but I do want to take some time to look at it and just try to figure out a solid plan going forward with it.
You're saying you wanna take more time to look at it before you even add just the cross country?
Yeah, because I don't want to add one and then 6 weeks from now we're looking at basketball. So we have basketball. So we have 9 girls go out because they're basketball. 6th grade parents going, hey, I want my kid to play basketball, and they're trying the same thing over and well, how many we're gonna have, where are we at? Because it's such a tight window when sports start and when school's going. I want to be able to talk to all of them, get something out of the parents, figure out like every sport, would your kid be interested? Like how many are we having for each sport, right? So if I see this year we have 19 girls playing 7th grade basketball, right? Right, we wouldn't need this year, right? But if we have 8, 9, right? And then we're pulling the 5th graders, 6th graders, hey, would you play basketball next year? Would you want to, right? Kind of see like, hey, we have had 10, we've had 9, right? That's the way it's trending, right? So we can then develop something for all the sports that we're looking at. Like I said, if it just ends up being just cross country, then just cross country.
And there's a lot of schools that are smaller and don't have a lot of participation, bring the 6th grade up in lots of sports for that very reason, and that's a good point. So.
But do they do that based off the year? You know,
Yeah,
based
does that
off of,
change from year to year?
Right,
You
yeah.
said you
I
always
don't
see
I
the
think
year
they
go
look
up.
at enroll, I think they look also at
And then
overall
what we have,
enrollment.
what we had
too.
last year boys basketball, does anybody know?
8th grade there was like 6,
What I
and
do,
then 7th grade there were
I don't
12 or
like
14.
We had, for boys basketball, 7th grade, we had 13, 8th grade, we had 8. Girls basketball, we had 11, 8th grade, we had 10.
so to me, I feel like that's good numbers to field those teams. I guess, I don't know that I'm really interested in adding 6th grade sports across the board or even looking at that. Cause I think it does take away opportunities from those junior high kids. I do agree, with Miss Minky in that,
You don't want a 6th
It's
grader
different.
taking a 7th grader
right, it is
spot, or,
different.
no, I agree
These
with
6th
that.
graders aren't taking anybody's spots. It's a good gateway sport to any other thing that we do.
Well, and I know you guys talked about it last time too, like the placing, we were trying to figure out
Yeah.
when the 6th graders, cause can't place in the cross-country meets, correct? Isn't that
Correct. So
what you
they,
guys were
they
saying?
don't, they can't medal.
Or there were only like 2 that actually had like 6th grades, or,
Yeah, 6th grade can run, but my understanding was they can't medal.
Yeah.
But that's not really the point of running cross country.
well, no, and that's what I'm saying, I'm
So-
just saying like, whereas, so it's not like they're taking a medal away from a 7th grader.
Correct.
Whereas like if in basketball, say, you have a 6th grader and your 7th grader is sitting the bench because the 6th grader is a better player, like I don't like
Yeah.
that.
That's something that Mike and I talked about a
Yeah.
little bit, just understanding that and talking to them, like, if we do have 6th graders on there, right, our starters are our 7th graders, right? If we have 6th graders on there, yeah, they're getting B team minutes, so if schools have a B team, they can play in them, right, play the B team tournaments, so we're not having to use as many of those girls or boys on the B team, they can play in the A team game, right, because you only get so many quarters, right, so like unless we have 5 girls or 5 boys, they're probably not gonna play on the
You're
end.
talking on like basketball.
Yeah, for basketball.
But they're also taking practice time away from an older kid that
Yeah.
needs that.
But I'm saying we get a number of them, right? If we have 20 kids that come out, we have no 6th graders that year, right? If we have 15 that come out, we don't, but we have 9 and 8 and things like that.
I think that takes away more from the community because we still have basketball and volleyball available for our 6th graders. Now we have volleyball available for our 6th graders. We've had basketball opportunities for 6th grade. And if you're wonky year to year and you're not sure until we get numbers out, I think that's harder to plan.
I do too, and then, yeah,
As a parent, it's harder to
Right.
plan, for sure.
yeah, I don't know how I feel about like going back
You,
and.
and that's why I want to look at it. I want to spend some time looking at it, spend a year seeing like where we at, talking to the fifth grade parents, talking to fifth graders, talking to the fourth graders. They're the ones who are going to be doing it, and trying to project up, right, and see where we at, what are we going to have, versus trying to like just do it right now and then no one wants to do it next year. If we don't do it, then we get to know in the next year. Just I want to try to get a good picture of what we're looking at for the next couple of years, versus kind of be proactive versus trying to, hey, we want kids to be kids, let's just do it right now. Just get a good plan in place for us to do it.
I do have one other question. I know that we had talked about too, like if we possibly did sixth grade, the insurance part of it. Was that looked
Yeah,
into? Did
so-
we find out how that
Yeah,
works?
so K-Show themselves don't cover it. You can get coverage for the number of students through the people who provide the coverage for K-Show, for the catastrophic insurance. You have to purchase it separately through them. You have to contact, I have ladies' contact information, you have to contact just, hey, we have this many students doing this, and they give you it's a set cost per person. So I don't
Oh,
have
it's
that
per
number.
kid?
Yeah, it's per kid.
Is it per sport as well, or just per
It's
student?
the per kid doing the activity.
Okay, so we would, if it was basketball.
Exactly, that's why I
it
wanna-
would be
yeah.
three different.
But I mean, I guess realistically, if we wanted to stand up the cross country this year, we have the coaching staff, right? We have the uniforms, right? We wouldn't necessarily need additional uniforms. So the only extra cost we would really be looking at is the insurance per number of students that participate. Is that, and from a cost perspective, I guess is what I'm looking at.
Yes, but we also look at if we're gonna, how many athletes we're gonna have, to the number of coaches as well.
I mean,
You're saying
it was
six.
in the summer, we only had 6 people fill out the survey, but let's say we're gonna go to school, have this meeting, how many sixth graders are really gonna show up and wanna run? Maybe a lot,
If
I
we
don't
get-
know,
Yeah, if we get 10, 15,
and
are
we've
we gonna
got,
try to add another?
and we've got 2 coaches.
Doesn't practice start Monday, don't they? So I mean, we really can't get to school and communicate it because it starts 4 days before really. And so I mean, it would be something that we would have to communicate tomorrow.
Mhm.
And then they would have to show up Monday or
Or they miss the first meet, because they have to have 12 practices in before they can run.
but I mean, if the kid doesn't know until the first day of school, then they've already had enough unexcused absences, they couldn't go out, right? I mean, that is something that we'd have to consider as well.
That's true.
Cause I think that was discussed too, is you can't just show up
This
4
question
days
is
after.
just cross country is what we're talking about, not all.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
I think your survey is hard to. I mean, I've heard a lot of people say, I didn't fill it out.
I would say personally, I was one. My kid's a sixth grader. He's like, "Oh, I want to do cross country." I'm like, "Do you even know what that is?" But I didn't fill it out, you know.
Yeah,
Like
talking to the
so.
coach, he said, I have 10 kids that wanna do it, but we
Yeah.
had 6
Yeah,
fill it out.
Yeah.
So it's kinda like, we have 10 girls wanna do it,
I completely missed
So-
the survey. That's.
I don't know our total number of work we paid at that point, so.
And they would need to get a physical done.
Yep, they have to get a physical done before they can even, which could push them back even farther.
And we got physicals.
And all the forms,
Yeah.
forms they have to go through to.
It's a physical and then 12 practices, and that's the hard thing, is it is 12, like volleyball where it's a number, since it's outside, they have to do 12 consecutive practices. Like I said, I think it's, if we got more time, I think,
Yeah,
but
and there's
we just
my
need
answer
more
on
time.
it.
I know, but we've run into that so much and I feel like it gets pushed back. And at some point, we just need to either make the decision.
Do it, yeah. Well, I feel like we can do it, but I just don't feel like things are in place enough to do it now. I don't have a problem doing it, I just think it'll be thrown together and you're gonna have 5 kids show up or, 25 kids show up.
If we did do that-
3 days late because they don't have the physical or they didn't even know about it.
If we did do that, then we had 5 kids on Monday and by first day of school, we had 15. Do you have a way to navigate that? Or is it, you're too late, we don't have coaches?
I mean, it's middle school, I mean, you have really, do turn kids away from middle school sports,
Right.
traditionally. That's a
Well,
big
and
thing, like, so like, are we gonna punish them for not knowing about something
Right,
over
I
the
was gonna
summer?
say, how can they
Right.
be
Like,
excused?
it's not like,
No.
it was May, we were talking about it, this was July, and they didn't know about it. Like, I would love to, I want to be involved, but
Parents can't get physicals in 3 business days.
I think
Two
it's,
business days.
I think that, Emily has got something in place where she can communicate and have like a physical day where she's got a provider that's gonna be able to do physicals for sixth graders that want to get in before that.
But
Now,
then I gotta go back to, they don't even, I feel like their kids don't even know.
yeah, no,
I mean, I
I'm sure
think
there are.
the kids she knows that probably already, run, cause I feel like my kid's gonna be like, oh yeah, I wanna do it, like,
Runs.
tries to run 2 miles.
It runs in the
I mean, I'm like, I think he thinks he wants to, but.
Hard sport.
Yeah, it is real.
Right, I just, yeah.
Good sport.
Well, I'd like to see us get 6th grade cross country, whether we do it today or not. I don't care if we don't do it today, I would like us to make sure that
Yeah,
we're looking at it and we do everything we can. I mean, that's up to the board decision.
that it would be my,
That's,
I mean, I feel like it needs to either keep being on the agenda or 2 months, come back
I
something.
guess
have
what are we
something.
what more are we gonna know 3 months from now than what we know today? Because ultimately, we're not gonna know anymore until we stand it up and we truly get a feel for how many kids. Because just like you guys, we have kids.
But isn't that from year to year? I mean, truly, you.
Yeah,
you
it
kids
is. You're
coming
never
in,
gonna
you're
know.
never gonna know how
But
many
if you have
kids are
one
truly
kid,
gonna go out.
if you have one
Has
kid,
a chance to do
they
the
can run
research.
cross country.
Yes.
It's not like you have
Right.
to have 5 to
Right.
make a team.
Right, that's why
That's the
I
other thing.
feel like I'm kind of in favor of it being cross-country.
So I guess this is the biggest thing is getting like the paperwork indication, physicals and things like that. I mean, that's gonna be.
But I also think in
Tricky
fairness,
thing.
the survey was sent out last month, so that hopefully that puts some things on people's radar if they were checking their email, right? But
How
There's only
quickly
so
can
much
we
we can
secure
control.
insurance?
Yeah.
Is insurance feasible by Monday to protect ourselves?
Turnaround time, it's, you have to talk to her, I have to call, I can call her tomorrow, but
Cause that's the other thing, we can move forward, and we can't get insurance until starting.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
feel
see it
like,
would take very long.
Yeah.
I know,
But
it's
so
so
it's
hard.
per, to go back to it, it's per kid
It's-
just for
it's- yeah,
6th graders?
It's,
And-
yep, because they're not covered under K-SHO, which is 7 through
I
12.
missed that, you said that, sorry.
Well, sure, it has to be pretty simple. If you have a kid show up late or going halfway through the season, you can call them.
Yeah, it's great. She does the insurance. She works with Keisha, but she's not actually Keisha. She has the policy for them, and so you contact her. And she add.
What kind of threshold is the coaching consideration, the number of coaches?
I think we're at 40-something kids already with 2 coaches.
So,
That's 6, potentially 7 to 12, right?
You're on the verge of needing a second bus.
I think they're already at the point where they say that I talked about they need 2 buses.
Yeah,
They
they're
said
already
that
there.
last time. They already have to
Yeah.
have 2 buses.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
That wasn't.
So the bus, that's enough kids with 2 buses. But
I'm curious, so going back to, okay, cause you said they have to meet like the 12
Yeah.
week minimum or whatever, but if these kids, 6th graders can't place anyway, do they still have to meet
They
that?
still have to have the 12.
Yeah.
Okay.
12. It's for heat. It's
Yeah.
for acclimation. Heat acclimation. It's a safety
Ah.
thing. 12
Gotcha.
practices. It's outdoors.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I feel like if we could get a physical day and if she was talking to someone, we might know a few nurse practitioners around here somewhere, you know,
Yes,
you know, that could
openings.
get some physicals done, but. Oh, I don't know. I hate it so last minute, but I do love the idea of,
Gives them an opportunity to be involved. I mean,
when is practice just right after school then?
It's at 3:30.
except for the was that the first couple days that
Well,
it's not?
before school starts, they're 6 to 8, I think. We try to
Okay.
beat some of the heat in.
So
for
Monday
parents
through
to get-
Wednesday of next week, they're 6 to 8.
I think, I didn't go to the meeting, I think
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Monday
yeah.
through Wednesday, 6 to 8, and then starting on Thursday, they're right after school.
That's a conflict with football practice.
And the
But then
meets
you're
that we're
gonna-
already
they're gonna
signed up
have just
for, we'll
decide.
let them
Yeah.
run. It's not like you have to go out and find meets and.
No, yeah,
and
it's,
pull
it's,
bugs. It's not
yeah.
a big issue there.
you just have to, yeah, you just
Um,
give your roster.
Will they be allowed to, they'll just do cross-country, and that's it, right? There's no other, they have conflicts or, hey, I'm in volleyball for,
It
the
we
community.
treat it the exact same way. It's a school sport, it's your primary thing.
Okay.
If you miss a practice,
I can just see us getting a little weeds about community or club ball they play that's, Am I missing a
Those go
year?
The same and all
Yes.
that stuff.
I mean, eligibility, yes, like they
they,
could,
they would have to follow the team rules of you missed the meet, whatever the consequences of.
is there club cross-country that some of these kids participate in?
No.
No.
Okay.
Just that there was no.
That's,
Yeah, there's
Right.
no,
It's
yeah,
the
that's
only
our
sport that
knowledge.
didn't have
a
a
club.
There's no organized
That's
run,
why
run
we're,
club.
yeah.
And there's kind of a running club over the summer. Just them getting together.
Right. I mean,
I'll-
you guys are the ones that are doing it, so I feel bad if you want the time, but on the other hand, I'm with you.
I know,
on the other.
and it's
And I
not to
respect that.
discredit any of
No.
the
Yeah.
work that you've done, but we have visited this as a board, and then it just kind of,
Goes away.
and I just don't see what additional months is really gonna give, what more benefit that's gonna give us as a board, because we're still gonna be, the unknown's still gonna be the unknown, right? Maybe I'm wrong. If you guys feel like there's,
No, I agree with you on
I mean,
that.
if we went
Time.
through with this, you can handle it. It's not gonna be terrible big challenge.
We're just looking at, do you need a third coach or not?
Doesn't say, do we have
That's
one?
what- that's
Yeah,
what it
do
comes
we
down
need
to.
an extra coach?
Either a third full-time coach or not. If we have
Sure.
50 kids show up, that puts us at 60 kids.
So how many kids, okay, if you get 5, you don't need another coach. What's the number that you need?
I'm not sure on the exact requirement per, because high schools has a requirement number of kids per.
I mean, if they start coming in late, can we put back
Exactly.
on it the first year? Say,
I don't like that because if
Oh,
my parent
You'll have
doesn't
kids
have
there.
social media and
If we can't find a coach, then what are we gonna do?
that would be my
Well,
big
but I
thing.
think we have a, do we have a potential, like, could we make one a full-time if they were interested in that?
I need to make sure I understand the interpretation of the negotiations also that we are about to vote on. Based on the review process and looking at adding new coaches, how we're doing that. And staying the same for this year versus, so you guys,
I don't think that's- I would struggle if we're at 40 plus
Yeah.
kids to say that we need a 2.5 or a 3, that would be an issue. I mean, I guess I'd welcome the conversation, but
Well, I
I think it would be
feel like
more,
that's a board decision, but maybe I'm wrong.
and then with the formal review process that we would look at that over 2 years worth of numbers and see what that looks like. But I don't think that if we have 46 to 50 kids, having 2.5 to 3 coaches is gonna be an issue. Again, I would, don't think that's an issue.
I think we got that many kids interested in sport and exercise, we're gonna try to sport that,
Yeah.
and that shouldn't be a problem.
And I think
Comfortable.
too, because it is, like junior high and high school, since they're all one now and the coaches do all the grades, I don't think that would be an issue.
Are you saying, Faith, we just can't add a coach in the middle of the?
no, it was just, there's language that was written about supplementals to review coaches and that we weren't adding anything new. That meant new things to the supplemental. It didn't necessarily say the number of additional coaches. So there's if you consider this part of that review, your AD, then it's probably fine. But
Yeah, I think. it's
everything's up for
reasonable.
interpretation, so
I think this is reasonable.
I just wanted to bring it up.
It's fair, I think it's a good point to bring up, but I think we need to be careful and make sure we look, because I don't, I mean, I'll be honest, I see it, I look at the number of people when they come through to approve,
Mhm.
but I don't step back and go, okay, well, or, we just approved a halftime cross-country coach, but it doesn't list
Mhm. Who the rest
all
are.
the other, like, if there was 10 others, it wouldn't
Or
just
the
list
number
those
of
as well, right? So I think
participants.
that's the point of the review to me,
Yeah.
is that I would look and say, okay, well, if there's 15 cross-country coaches, we probably want to take a look at our numbers to make sure we substantiate that. We don't have 15, I'm embellishing. But yeah, just, I think that formal process is good so that way we are keeping track of how many coaches do we have on these and how many student athletes we have doing those particular sports. But I don't think that this will be an issue to add a half or potentially a whole. As long as the AGs think we get one. They'll try. That's what
That's the hard part, trying to find someone.
Well, I mean, is it
It'd be good
possible
to
to
figure out,
ask?
it'd be nice to know, you know, how many you're gonna have out, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's,
I think we're gonna have to find that out when school starts, so. Did people talk about it at the parent meeting yesterday?
For cross country,
Uh-huh.
I'm not actually positive.
And I don't know that it might not have been brought up, since nothing was
Sure.
board approved,
Yeah.
she might not have wanted to say, hey, sixth graders. if you
Yeah,
have-
and it wasn't mentioned yesterday at the meeting.
Okay, I didn't, yeah.
It introduced one of the part-time coaches and then talked about the other one.
Right.
And then obviously.
Okay, yeah.
Just a devil's advocate, doesn't concern me. With so many people that are afraid of 6 through 12, I'm not one of them. In a building, parents don't have a concern with 6 through 12 and cross country or junior high and track practicing together. And they did when I was teaching and coaching too, but I just wondered if you guys hear anything from them.
I don't think it's ever been a
I
problem.
haven't heard any issues
I just-
about
That's a
it,
good-
but yeah,
I don't have an issue.
no, I haven't heard any.
I would have no.
My boys are in
Anyone
cross country.
upset?
It
I
was
guess a
great
parent
group.
could decide if they would let their kid go
Yeah.
out or not, there's a choice there, so
Cross
I
country
guess that would
was a
be
great group. They
the
always
change or the difference.
hung out. They're still all friends to this day.
I don't know, I'd like to make a motion to approve sixth grade to start this year, realizing that it's gonna be a short stand-up time. But I feel like we have a lot in place that we could make it happen.
Only cross country.
Only cross-country.
How are we gonna go about, if this is a yes, how are we gonna go about this, trying to get these kids in so quickly? Like do like a
Good job. Good luck, Brian.
parent meeting,
We'd have to do something Thursday.
like ASAP, yeah.
I think.
That's tomorrow.
Next Wednesday. When school starts.
I don't want to be
you can
negative, but I think you need to modify that to where that you make a motion for that if he can secure the
Yeah, I mean,
insurance
you
in
could do
time
that.
and get everything aligned. Because if he
Kind of
calls
square
the
has
insurance and they
Yeah.
say, hey, it's a 30-day deal, then
Or
we
it's
can't.
$7,000 a person.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I have no idea.
Well, but it's not, because we've looked into that before. And insurance was a very minimal cost
Yeah,
compared to
it's-
everything
it's-
else. It's
For
very,
the year, it's like for the seventh, eighth grade, it's like, I think it was like 200 something.
yeah, it's
not-
minimal.
Okay.
It's
We're not
not much.
talking about, that's not an astronomical cost. So, but yes, it would, I guess it would be under the contingency that we could
Get that.
secure insurance for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And then if needed, then maybe potentially hire either another coach or make one of the part-times a full-time. But I would leave that.
Still contingent on if there's a need, we have to staff it, or we can make, is that what you're saying? Like, 65 kids are in the, and we cannot find a coach.
Are there
we
even
still-
65 kids in the
Oh.
sixth grade class?
Well, it's total. It's paid for.
Oh,
Six-
you know, I
six-
was thinking sixth grade, I'm like,
Kids
that's a
right
small
now.
class, but.
In cross country already.
Yeah.
So if that number reached 65,
And yes, we have 65 kids.
are we going to?
So I think we're gonna have
to
60
staff it, or
total
we-
kids at least, because we have at least 10 who confirmed through coach that they wanna do
It's
it.
57.
And that doesn't include any kid who comes on school on Thursday and says, hey, I wanna do cross country.
Meet the teacher night is Wednesday, right? Or
Right.
whatever. I wonder if maybe we could have the teachers maybe mention it to them if we
We
decide,
could
Wednesday
definitely
night
put
as
some-
well,
yeah,
maybe
we
print
could
some
put a
flyers or
table out
something.
there as well, and we can announce it, we could
Yeah,
advertise it, then say it'll be a meeting
Get
for
it out there.
Thursday type of thing.
We could do another parent square splash out to their text and see if they can, hey, we pushed this out earlier. We pushed this out earlier, we need to know.
Okay, you're on it.
So,
Yeah,
but we need to make a motion, see if this is,
Okay.
so whatever, she made a motion.
For
For unexcused absences for kids, if they don't attend, what does that look like for sixth grade for this year?
It follows what's seventh and eighth
But
grade.
it can't. I mean, I guess that's what I'm saying, is
How could it not?
because
They're
is
already
it
gonna
not
be down 3.
two unexcused absences,
Yeah,
they're
you're
really
removed from
gonna
a
be
team
down
and school
3
doesn't start till
practices,
Thursday, they're gonna miss
Sorry, yeah,
three,
at
so it's
least.
like they'll have enough unexcused absences. And if they find out about Thursday and can't get their physical until Friday, now they're missing the second day of school to try to get a physical to participate in a sport 5 days after.
Well, hopefully we'll know by tomorrow into the day whether or not we can secure insurance or not.
Yeah, I'm more so
And
meant for the poor kids that don't have, a parent that's got social media or somebody who's gonna tell them, so they show up to school on Thursday and they're, oh, I can do cross country this year, that's awesome, let me sign up, oh, I can do physical, I gotta have a concussion form, which they did in science in 6th through 11th grade last year, so now I've gotta get the concussion video, and responsible adults sign that, there's, the other thing, so I just,
Yeah.
I
I mean, I
don't
realize
wanna
it
just,
may not be fair to, I guess, I don't know how you make it fair to everybody. I don't.
yeah, to make it equitable, I think we would just need to make a decision as a board that we're gonna not treat 6th grade cross-country like we are 7th through 12 cross-country this year, and that the unexcused practices wouldn't count for 6th graders only.
Could
At
you
least
give,
Monday
could
through
you give Brian
Wednesday.
the ability to just waive that if there's a certain circumstance?
They would still have to have
Yes, I
12
think that's-
practices before the
Yeah,
first.
not the I just mean that
But
they're
just
able to
until
continue to
they can
participate.
secure like their physical, their
Yeah,
paperwork.
yeah, the team.
And,
role.
and not being like halfway through the season either, all of a sudden decide.
Yeah, it would be Monday through, it would be Monday through Wednesday.
In the first week or
Yeah.
something.
Until the Monday
I see
following the
what you're
first week of
saying,
school.
yeah.
After
Right.
this date, they will
So
follow
beginning,
something.
whatever.
Because obviously we can't help it that they miss those practices, that's our fault.
So any practices missed by a 6th grader due to unbeknownst to them prior to August 24th would be considered unexcused, right? Because they didn't know.
So you're adding that to your motion?
Well, no,
Yeah,
I'm asking,
no,
I think
that
Brian
that's
can
it.
make that, right? But I just,
I think it's good
I don't
that
wanna
we would
not-
say that. That's
No, for sure.
I don't wanna not,
thinking through what we can. I mean, we're gonna have to make provisions this first year.
or give Brian like
Right.
the discretion, I'm okay with that as well, I just feel like that's important, because I don't want a 7th grade parent or an 11th grade parent coming and saying, well, that 6th grader didn't have to go the first week and my kid did, you won't let him go to practice or participate because.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, it's emotional.
No, I agree with you.
It's a motion.
So we do
I
have.
like that, as long as we can
Yeah,
do
but
that
I agree.
insurance.
I agree that the August 24th.
And you're adding that to your motion?
Yep, I sure am. And I'll second it.
And Michelle has a second. Anybody, Jamie, anybody else have any other comments they want to make or questions?
I mean, I would, as long as we can do the insurance and then, I mean, yeah, get physicals, maybe get a physical and I mean concussion video, maybe, I don't know if that's something they can watch at school.
That's what the other sports do that at the end of the year,
Yeah.
so I'm sure we could set something up there.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea, I just like, we don't have enough together, and that's my response.
Okay, all in favor?
Sorry, Brian.
Yeah, sorry.
Thank you, guys. Sorry it
Yes,
took
thank
so
you.
long.
Yeah, sorry.
Fair enough,
Sorry.
here we come, you got it, buddy.
Throwing you in there.
Emily will help you.
Mike, you up next, or are you done after listening?
I think that was all, I mean, things are going well. No, we got schedules set for the most part, and we're ready to roll next week, so.
Fourth graders are here this week.
Fourth grade down there at the camp this week.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Great
They're
permit.
going good?
I think we had 48 out of the 58 kids show up, so
Wow.
great numbers of
That's good.
fourth grade entry.
Fourth grade transition day.
Some catchy.
Well, he probably had a catchy name, did you have a catchy name?
Did you have?
Camp.
I think we just called it fourth grade entry camp.
Oh, entry camp, okay.
Entry.
Sorry, I
Yeah.
got the terminology correct, entry camp. I was like, boot camp.
Yeah, who can't, that's right. Fourth grade boot camp.
I was like, boot camp, fourth grade boot camp. I don't think they'd show up if you called it that. And I'm doing burpees and stuff.
Who else?
Alright,
The high school's moving right along. Had our open house and parent sports night last night. It was exciting to get kids back in the building. A lot of anxious freshmen and anxious parents as well. But it was a good time. Had an opportunity to get around the building. Things are tidying up around here, so we'll be ready to go. Looking forward to having people back in the building full time.
You got all the kids set up, ready to bring in the freshmen?
Yeah.
I've been doing link crew this week.
Yeah, I was gonna say we've got the link
We're
crew training. We've got the schedule already posted for everybody. So yeah, we're geared up, ready to go.
Awesome.
It's gonna be a good time.
The parking lot looks great.
Yeah.
Oh, the seniors are having a blast
That was
with it.
fun.
Yeah,
They were out there in 110 degree weather
Yeah.
painting.
I was a little
and on that.
concerned.
There's somebody out there now painting.
After
Yeah.
this.
I pulled up a couple times, he's inside of my air conditioned car, I'm like, are you almost done? And they're just sweating. I'm like, oh my
Or
gosh.
if you'd like to volunteer.
We could turn the lights on at night, and or go into the lights at night and then they would.
It takes a lot longer than you
Oh,
think.
yeah.
Oh,
I feel like we need to hoard supplies after, encourage people not to throw them away.
They look really good at
To
that.
give them to next year, because it's,
Jamie didn't wanna spend the money,
oh.
And I'm not gonna
I
lie,
told her,
some
oh,
of
it's
the
in the next
detail.
pay bill, she said no.
and that's what I said, it looks like. It's fine.
It does look nice.
It is fun, the kids are excited, even some of the boys just got it on.
They did.
last
They
minute.
really
We're
did.
excited and
Yeah.
they
Well,
worked
they're way out
hard.
there painting when I pulled in.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I love it.
Dedication.
Ready?
Yep.
Okay, Overbrook hosted our kinder camp at the end of July. We were able this year to know enough in advance and get our kids sorted that the students who went to kinder camp went with their teacher who they were assigned for. So they already get to know them a little bit before August when they return to us. That was great. Our attendance wasn't quite what Carbondale had for fourth grade entry. We had 30 out of our 50, however many kids I got coming in here, 52 kids that are coming in. We had a lot that were on vacation. Just because of that timing and pieces. It actually, I felt like was good. We had, just a couple who were you could see that hesitation and they were very nervous coming into the building. And by day 3 or 4, they were acting like they owned the place. So that was very good for them to see that. And it was nice for our teachers to be able to get to know them and have eyes on them a little bit before they were able to come into the building. So that'll be a nice transition for us. And then our building is almost done. I think we only got 2 boxes left in the hallway from preschool I need to finish looking through and unpacking. So.
For teaching and learning, busy week, lots of teachers in Monday. We had a classroom management boot camp that we had all of our first and second year teachers attend. Greenbush came and did that for us. 3 Lakes also sent about 20 people. So it was a very full day, but the teachers our new teachers learned about setting expectations and routines and which ones to set and what to plan for and to think about all these pieces. So that was a great day. Today was our first day of new teacher academy for the new Chargers. And so we have 12 new teachers between what we've hired and what 3 Lakes has hired. So today they learned about all of the things, Santa Fe Trail. Tomorrow they have a morning with us again. And their mentor will be with them tomorrow morning and they'll go through how to do power school, how to take a day off, how to enter all these things. And then in the afternoon, they'll be in their buildings. And so that's really awesome. It's fun to have people back and talking and the excitement. So that's really cool. Also, Katie was sharing with me tonight, as part of our TASN each year, at the beginning of the year, we have what are called, we give the FastBridge assessment or we use the one from the spring and we look at the classes and we see their average score and we see if they are at benchmark or most of the kids at benchmark or above or below. And if most of them are below, we do what is called a class-wide, which is a 10-day intervention to just kind of give them a jump start of, to get them going. And Katie was sharing with me today about class-wides and some celebrations.
Yes, like Harry said, we've been doing this for 2 years in our K-5. So for me, the class I'm responsible for, the 4th and 5th grade, you sort them into their new teachers. I pull their oral reading fluency and find their median score. And if it's at benchmark for the beginning of the year, then they don't do a class-wide cycle. We just go into our traditional interventions. But if it's below, then we do a whole class intervention for fluency or phonics, depending on what the score is that's below. And in 5th grade this year, all 4 classes are above the median, and that's the first time since we started our partnership with TASM that we've not done class-wides in a grade in our building. So the teachers are super excited, and the kids are gonna be really excited to start the year just in their regular interventions. And in 4th grade, they're really close. They're only 2 words per minute below the median in all 3 classes, which is really exciting. And last year in 5th grade, we had 1 of the 4 classes that got it, and in 4th grade, we didn't have any. And so we're really starting to see that trend of like, oh, we're doing it, it's working, it's working. So that feels really good. The teachers were really excited when I met with them last week. So.
And then OAC will use their beginning of the year data to determine their class-wise, but we're excited to see what.
Yeah.
Yes.
The ship is turning.
Yes.
Yeah.
It feels good.
Yes, it does.
Can I also say congrats to you on your book?
I mean, in my spare time.
Yeah,
so much of it.
She's a published author.
I love it.
She's already sold out on Amazon and
Books a Million.
Books a Million,
Yeah,
so.
that's
I got a ship date on Amazon today for my
You did?
pre-order
You got
book.
one?
Yeah, I
Oh,
just got
good.
it today.
Yeah, that means
It's
they're
a
pumping them
lease,
back
but I
out
got a
again.
date.
Yeah.
So if you haven't bought a book, you'll be on a waiting list. I have one. I think I was like the first one to purchase one on Amazon, but.
Get your autograph.
She'll autograph it.
Faith is in it. She has a whole section.
Yeah, I'm actually in the book. Great,
Yeah.
yeah. So, thanks, Carrie,
Thank
for the
you.
plug. Appreciate it. So that's pretty awesome, Carrie. Great job.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah, she's a go-getter. For my report, just a few things I want to hit on. I want to first say thank you to, school is truly 12 months a year. I know it feels like it's a 9-month thing, but it is 12 months a year. There are people working hard all summer long to prepare for the next school year. And we're one of those weird organizations, professions that stops and starts every year. And that's very unique for any kind of profession. So there are a lot of people in the summer behind the scenes preparing schedules, preparing reports, gathering data, obviously the facility piece of it, doing all of our summer projects, the cleaning, the deep cleaning we have done. There's a million things going on, food service pieces, obviously because we fed kids all summer long. So I'm obviously missing people, technology, where's Andy? Technology, they've done a million things. So I'm sure I'm forgetting a million people here, but we had a luncheon yesterday. Yesterday we had a luncheon with all of them. So thank you. And so I just want to give a big thank you to everybody that works in the summer to get school ready. It's a lot of work. We officially moved an entire school into 2 buildings. And there's still some work to do over there, but that took a lot of effort and a lot of work. And our preschool is ready to go over at Overbrook. We're excited for them to be integrated with K3. Hopefully that will help with some of that kindergarten transition a little bit. And have our teachers over there ready to go. We're still working on a few things on the building over there and currently still working on the contract with Allen County. I hope to have that for you next meeting. It's in the hands of our attorneys right now, going back and forth, and they have their board meeting, I believe, next week to review it. And then I hope to have it for you ready to go for your review and approval. Then let's see, we did have a contractor come out and look at our floor again and give us a formal bid on concrete lifting and floatable fill to fill the voids underneath the building. I would like to invite him to come to our next meeting in September to really explain his step and his process in this large project that we're gonna have to figure out how to do for the high school foundation issues and the floor issues and the walls and the ceiling and the drainage and the roof. And there's a multitude of things that are gonna be phased in with this process. But the first step is to get the foundation and it's technically a floating slab on top of these piers. So I've learned a lot. It's amazing what I've learned about structural engineering and how everything works in these buildings. So it's been a great process. I walked on the roof yesterday. That was really hot. We looked at some drains. I looked at some of our membrane pieces on the roof and some things we need to do up there as well. So it's a big process, but this will be the first step. So I thought it would be good if he came in, spoke to you, you guys can ask your questions about this, give you the formal proposal, and then we can go from there on decision making for timeline to get that done, how you wanna bid that out and move forward. So we're just need to go ahead and get it all done, but we'll have to do some things in phases because there's no way we can afford to do all those things I just mentioned at one time. So it'll take some time to get through all of it, but I want to let you know, we talked to them. It's a guy by the name of Raymond Love from Top Gun Concrete Lifting. So I'll bring him in. Then we have professional development next week. We are inviting our students in to help support some of that. So it's kind of a surprise. I'm not going to tell you more than that, but our students will be here to help welcome our teachers back. What better than to have kids welcoming our teachers back? So we'll do 2 days of professional development. We will do a teacher preparation day. There will be open houses next week for all of our families. And then we're ready to go, rock and roll. School will begin. They will show up. They always do. So I'm very excited. Anything else? Administrators for the greater good before we rock and roll into the 26-27 school year? Okay. That's all I've got.
We're ready for it, right? Okay. 7.1, mobilizing literacy grant, $50,000.
I'll let Laura Lee talk to this since this is gonna affect mostly her building, and we've always used mobilizing literacy. There's been some possibilities and unknowns of the grant going away, but the Jones Foundation partnering with ESU and this literacy grant told us it will continue. We actually got more this year than we have in the past, so I'll let Laura Lee talk to us a little bit about how that's gonna work over there for our early childhood and kindergarten interventions.
I was actually just working on the revised budget. So this was new to me and the pre-K world, so this is something we sat down and Faith had talked about. This was a grant that they apply for, and Carrie and I and Janine Henry attended a Zoom meeting, and they had 3 different options. $75,000 one, which we didn't get, but we got 50,000, and they only awarded 3 of those. So I thought that was great. But they put a stipulation on it that it had to be around structured literacy this school year. And so I kind of started brainstorming, and I met with Julie Flory, and we really wanted to keep the preschool teachers of like what can we do with our students. And so our 4-year-olds are already using FastBridge testing, so that was one of the data points they wanted us to use, so we were already on board with that. And we're gonna run how we run, like TASN, MTSS, K through 12, we're running like little tiny baby TASN project for our preschool students. We ask for $9,000 in things so that we can kind of create and make like structured literacy toolkits, because when you work with our little students, they need a lot of hands-on activities, game-based type things that they can do with one-on-one with an adult or in a small group for alphabetic principles, onset sounds, and those types of things. We don't have a lot of those things because they cost a lot of money. So we ask for money for that. We ask for money to train our para-educators, both our 3 Lakes, our district pre-K paras, and then some of our para-educators that we already have that are working through the title program that are highly qualified. Our goal is to take 15 minutes of their 3 hours time where they're already doing some of their centers and push into the classroom and provide more adult 1-to-1 or 2-to-1 interaction where they're playing a game that focuses on letter names, or they're playing games that focus on what's the beginning sound. A lot of those centers that the preschool students can only do with the teacher at the back table versus one that they can do on their own. So we're gonna increase their interaction time with adults and their opportunities to respond. And then in addition to that, our lead teacher for our building is still Julie Flory, and so we set aside in our new budget a little over $38,000 to supplement salary for our 2 district teachers and then our district para-educators as well. So that will help offset some of those that we're pulling from our other funding. I'm really excited to get it going. The preschool teachers seemed very welcoming to that. And I'm just excited to get in there and work with the preschool kids. So that's what it looks like in a nutshell.
And that's different from the $40,000 grant that you got, right?
Yes.
$90,000 right there, one more meeting. Yeah, very good, good job. Good job. Well done.
a motion.
Just to approve the award letter,
Accept
yeah,
that, yeah.
yep,
Yeah.
and accept it.
Motion to accept that.
Okay, so the motion, okay, Jamie has the second, all in favor? Thank you for your work on that.
Thank you.
guys.
Awesome.
All right, where are we at now? 7.2, complete personnel report and action items.
Yes, so you have the negotiated agreement ratified edits that you've had time to look at. There's language changes, 6% salary increase to the base for certified staff. There's some language about flexible prep time, 2 additional student contact days, and some other provisions in there. So what we need tonight is a vote to accept the ratified and very hard worked on negotiated agreement. We went through 2 sessions that were, I mean, quite a few hours they spent. So they did a great job.
Yeah.
Three total hours?
No,
Three
three total
sessions.
sessions.
Oh, 3 sessions. Yeah, we did do 3 sessions. Oh, yeah. We did 3, you're right.
lot
We
more
did
than
3.
3 hours.
You're right, we did 3. I was thinking there was 2. We did
Barely.
3. I was there. I was there. I do want to point out that, you know, insurance has been a struggle the last couple of years. We're working really hard on that, but our rates have skyrocketed over the last couple of years, and it's been really hard to provide a really competitive benefit package. And so we're trying to help out with benefits in other ways, such as some of the language changes in there on prep days, the salary base increase, that's gonna make us pretty competitive with that salary. And just some other things that I think I'm hoping over time we can see some relief in insurance, I'm hoping. A lot of that is out of our hands, a lot of it's on claims and risk ratios, the number of members that take ours and that don't. And so it can be challenging, but we're trying to do the best we can to kind of offset some of that in other ways. But I don't think we're the only district struggling with insurance rates, so, but that's what we have for you to vote on tonight. Anybody, do you guys do you have any questions? We also have NEA here, representation, so. You have any questions for Katie or, Katie, you wanna share anything?
No, I mean, I think that, like Faith said, our biggest hurdle this year is insurance, and I think unfortunately it was probably our biggest hurdle last year too. It's just a taller one this year. But all the districts that I've talked to with other negotiation teams, it's something that everyone's facing. That's causing issues for them when it comes to budget. So I'm really happy with where we're at, and I think we did a great job.
Appreciate the NEA negotiations committee.
Yeah,
I'll
we
make a
appreciate you
motion
guys
to-
too. It's hard work.
I'll second it.
Okay, so Justin had a motion to approve, Michelle second, all in favor? Thank you guys for all your work on that too.
Do we have to make a motion to amend the calendar at all for the student days?
We probably should, because there's 2 on there. We can go ahead and do that. It is part of that package in there. What do you think, Amy?
I think it was presented as part of the package and negotiation.
Okay,
so I think it's
okay,
written.
okay, all right.
Yeah, I put it in the MOU.
Okay, and then we could just make a note of that.
Okay.
So,
Then there were 2 PD days.
Yes, 2 PD days, so.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
and I can actually just also push that new calendar out to parents too. Like,
Yeah.
hey,
Be a good
this is-
idea.
yeah, I'll
Yeah,
just that
just
out.
with the.
It's just 2 changes, but, and they're
Make
further
sure
down,
always
so.
point out the changes, so we don't have
Yeah.
to dig all of it.
Gotcha, I can do that. I can just put it on the calendar at a glance.
Yeah.
And just push that one sheeter back out and just make a note of the 2
Yeah.
changes on those 2 dates. Does that work? Okay.
All right, classified administrator salaries. Is there any comments?
No, same, there's a package in there for you, benefits, both insurance, salary increases for classified administrators, some compliance things that we had to change based on insurance for classified staff members. A list of recommended percentage wage increases are all in there, so. Very similar, except for classified staff contribution for insurance is up.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve the classified administrator salaries.
Do you have a question?
Okay, I'm sorry.
So I said, made a motion to approve the classified administrator salaries.
Okay, so Justin made a motion,
I'll second.
second, all in favor? All right. That brings us to 7.3, the classified handbook.
Same thing, a couple of updated language changes for classified staff. The biggest change is just recommending a couple of additional PTO days for our classified staff. That's also to help with some of the benefits packages of insurance again, trying to give back some other ways to do benefits, a couple of days in the holidays, that are in there listed. But that's about it. That's in there as long as you guys have already approved the salary increases. That ACA compliance piece is also noted in there with that $15 an hour in the base of classified salaries, so. Any questions on that?
I'll make the motion to approve the classified handbook. I'll
So,
second.
motion, I second, all in favor? All right, 7.4, health insurance renewal, that number is large.
That is large. So our insurance committee met, they all agreed to, the deductible tiers, the contributions to the district for certified and classified with a 37% rate increase in our premium. So that's where we're living right now, and it's don't like saying that number out loud, but it is our reality right now, so. But the insurance, we talked through it, they asked some good questions, and, the deductible tiers, I think, should help a little bit, with that, but overarchingly, we're gonna make up for it in salaries, we hope, and some of these other benefits with PTO and, wages and things like that, so. That's where we're at, so we just need to tell Blue Cross Blue Shield, we are moving forward with that, and we did bid it out, and we only had one other vendor that quoted us, and that was Aetna, and it was much higher than what Blue Cross Blue Shield. We tried to get into a couple pools, we were denied quotes for pools, it'd be great to get into Kite eventually, but the claimant ratio this year was just very challenging. We were over 300% of cost to claims to premium payment, so that's challenging. So. Yeah, but yes, we have to have it, so.
I'll make a motion for that, I tell everybody's nervous.
Yeah, do we,
We got a second?
it is what it is, right?
Right.
It's terrible.
Yeah, I'll second it.
Michelle has a second, all in favor?
Jamie already seconded.
Jamie did, I'm sorry, I didn't see that.
Speak up.
Okay, 7.5, sub handbook.
We are recommending a salary, a daily rate for sub increase to be competitive with surrounding school districts to $135 a day for subs. And that is I think that's the change in the handbook, the main change, I don't think we changed the language. No, the dates are changed. We have that there. In the calendar.
Make a motion?
Yep.
Make a motion to approve the sub handbook.
I'll second.
Motion right here, second for Kylie, all in favor? Okay, 7.6, non-resident student enrollment, I see there was an addition on that too.
Yes, there's an additional student listed there for you. Okay, so for non-resident student enrollment, we have a policy in place currently, that we passed 2 years ago based on new state law. About students being able to go to other school districts, through a process. That process gave us a timeline, and that timeline, was, they were open in June to enroll through July. So those recommendations came to you in July with a list of all the students that had gone through the process. We have a student in good standing review.
June or January?
June, it opens in January to June, sorry. January,
You
opens
said
in
June.
January, closes in June, I'm sorry.
And then July.
And then July is when we make the recommendations. But I had a few people reach out about late application. I said I would be happy to bring that to you. I made sure that at the time of those requests, we had capacity. We did at the time of those requests. Since, in the last week, Mike called me and said that with our 7th grade class, we are over capacity. However, he doesn't feel like it's gonna be much of an issue based on how he's sectioned out our classes with core electives and able to get some five sections on some of our things. So he was okay with it. Kids were in good standing that are on your list. I think what I want to talk to you about mostly is some of these dates are in place for administrative purposes to help with class sizes, placement in classes, teachers preparing for a pad for in-district movement that happens mid-year. We may get another 7th grader in December. We may get another 4th grader in. So since we've made adjustments to personnel and gone down from 4 to 3, that can make our class sizes a little bit bigger. So we put that date on there just to have kind of a safety net so we can prepare for the knowledge that we need to have to prepare schedules for staff and them knowing how many kids they have in their class, as well as preparing for movements that may come down the road. Also, if we do anything later than September 20th, you do not get funding for those students that come in. So those are all just considerations if you want to change the date. If you don't want to change the date, if you want to maintain it, it's up to you. But we probably need to change policy if we're going to move past the application dates. And there were a couple of nuances with some of these. I think there were some email overlooks on one of the parents that didn't see something. And then another one was just a late request. The high school especially has open capacity. So I didn't think that was that big of a deal. High school's a lot easier when you've got so many classes. Our class sizes are not huge in high school because we have so many options for kids. So middle school, high school are a little bit easier to navigate. Elementary is a little bit more challenging. So there is a list there that we are recommending based on students in good standing, capacity, except for the 7th grade one.
So like in a case like that, we can't go back, we just have to be over capacity.
Yes, we'll be over capacity. We'll actually be 6 over capacity with the new move-ins that enrolled this week. So.
If we'd been over capacity in July, you would have made the recommendation on the other districts.
No.
And now we're over
Per
capacity.
policy, per policy.
And we're over capacity now, and you're recommending him, even though, and it was late.
Yeah, I'm just bringing them to you to see if this is something you want to consider. At the time that we told one of the mothers we weren't over capacity.
I had lost a couple of move outs.
I got you.
Yes, and so he called me just this week, so I just wanted to be transparent about that one that we weren't over capacity, we are currently. But that is just the 7th grade one. The rest of them, we have capacity. So.
Well, why have a deadline if we're not following that?
Sure.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess
I mean,
for
I
me,
get it.
I don't wanna
overlooked
turn
stuff.
around, I don't wanna turn around and waste students if we have the capacity. That's turning away money.
Sure.
And we've talked about that. And so I guess for me, as long as if we still had capacity, they're past the date and we have them enrolled by September 20th.
And I'd like to change the date in the policy that our September board meeting is our last one.
But I still.
Because of what just happened.
Sure.
We're still gonna be, we can still be over.
So I told a
capacity if we're
mom that
still
we had
allowed.
capacity and we did, and then a
Right.
week later I had some new ones come in. So it just continues to happen as long as I leave it open. So,
Right.
but which is fine. It's up to you guys how you want to do it. It is just a policy change on the date if you want to do that. If you don't, then we'll just keep it what it is and.
I get it, they overlook some, I've overlooked emails
Sure.
before too, and they're late, and I get that, but being over capacity was certainly.
That's
Now,
what I'm
Mike
worried
said he
about.
could work it out, I get that, but
Yep.
at what point is he not gonna be able to work it
Right,
out?
right.
And somebody's late and we're over capacity, and say, well, hey, you just did that last year.
I think
Why am I being
before,
picked on it?
before June, I think it's 100% capacity. After June, before September's board meeting, it's case by case.
Yeah, it is.
Right, and I
That's
mean,
how
if
I
we have
think
capacity, we'd love to take them, but if we don't,
Right.
it puts us in a
That's
position,
that's
and
how I
that's
think
where.
too.
Yes.
And for planning purposes, I like the June date, because then we know, otherwise you might as well approve out-of-district students every meeting from January to,
Yeah.
September, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that gives us a chance to approve everybody that did it through the process in July.
And I say late, they had half of a year, January to June, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
So are these both 7th graders? I'm confused, or one of these is
No,
a
just
7th
one.
grader?
Just one 7th grader.
Yeah.
And
That's the thing, we
high
can't
school, right?
control if we're over capacity if they're in the district.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure.
And so, if this would have happened in July and we would have approved it, we would still be over capacity
Because they
now.
come in.
Right, because they
Yeah.
came in. We have no control over that. And if we have kids that, if we're at capacity in December and we have 6 kids move into the district, we're 6 over capacity. We have no control over who moves in and out. And so I guess, I don't know what a perfect world looks like. We don't have that crystal ball, but.
But we do our best, like when we make those capacity numbers, we're trying to think about pad, we look at kind of trends that we've seen. You know, we had a kindergarten bubble, we've had and those will happen. Another thing I will tell you, we have a lot of transient population as well. We get kids that move in, they stay for a short time, they leave. We get foster kids that come in. Homeless population is also, that they're all, they don't fall under this policy. So those kids we take anyway. So those things are really hard to project but you get kids that move around the state based on determination hearings. So that has also been some of these nuances that have happened as well that we can't really project a lot. So I think our principals do a pretty good job of padding where our capacity is supposed to be to keep our class sizes where I know the board has really talked about wanting them to be. But I also know turning kids away is hard. I mean, we take 101 out of district students and about 22 of those are staff students. So it's not that we don't take out of district kids, we take a lot. Yeah, so we have a lot of out of district students. It's not that we don't not turn kids away unless it's been some sort of an expulsion review or something along those lines. But you know, we've always taken kids, you know.
Well, I'm good.
The date is more of a processing piece
I'm
for
good
us.
with that. I just wanted to.
And principals, maybe you want to chime in on the process piece for you with a deadline. So Kyle,
like you said, with the high school, we got a lot of flexibility, so that hasn't been a concern, and this building can hold a lot more than what we have, so not too worried about it.
I mean, if you had a late policy that we looked at kids after that date on a case by case basis, like Justin said, that's not a problem, because if we're at capacity, I just say, no, we can't schedule that kid.
Right, yeah.
That's, I like the date, what it is, and I mean, if there's people are gonna be late, it is what it is, stuff happens, right? But I do have one question, just to clarify, so the 7th grader, cause I mean, I saw some things, read some things, so they did actually apply on time, but they applied, filled out the
They
wrong.
sent an email in June, there was an email, they didn't receive, I guess, our reply on how to go put all the information in.
Okay, so it wasn't applied
So
for
we never got
before
the application,
June.
no, we never got the
Okay,
application, so
okay.
we never got it.
I thought it was, okay.
She did inquire in June, and but then we never got the
And
application.
was told that we did
So we
have
were-
room?
She
Is that
never
what you
got,
said in the beginning?
she never got
She
that.
never applied.
Oh, that's right, she never got that.
I spoke to the parent on the phone, and we worked through it, I told her kind of why we have the deadline, how that all works, why the reasoning behind some of the things. And then I would bring it to the board, we did a review, everything checked out fine, so.
Do we say the September board meeting though? Because if we don't meet till the second Wednesday in September, how many weeks of school are we? So does that still be 3 weeks?
Yeah, and that's harder, it is.
I mean,
Yeah, did
I
they start
understand
at the
funding
other
September
school?
20, but did they start at their own or how does that work? I mean,
I mean, we do have some random things that happen, I guess, there's circumstances, I guess, that let me happen.
I like the date. And then just do a case by
I do
case.
too.
Yeah, that's,
Until funding comes out.
I do too. Okay.
So yeah, so what I need for you tonight is just approval of these kids or not, and then if you don't wanna change the date, then we don't need to make a motion to change anything in policy.
But it's still say we can do a case by case basis after.
Do we need to change the policy to say that, or no?
I don't think so. I mean, I think if we've got capacity, we bring it to you. If not, and we can't make it work, is that what you're thinking? Or
Yeah,
do you
that's
want,
what
if
I'm
you want some it's up to you if you want.
Well, I
language
mean,
in
it
there.
just if you were needing clarification
Gives
on
you
it.
guys something to follow. If we put it in policy, then you guys have something to reference.
Yeah.
Would be the only thing.
Alright.
I do have one more question before we vote on this. Were there other students who applied that we have already turned away because we were at capacity this year? Because I
Applied
don't
late or
want-
applied before?
What?
Applied late or applied before?
No, applied before. the
I
deadline.
did turn,
Only in classes that didn't have capacity at all at that time.
in kindergarten.
Like kindergarten has 0.
Cause we got.
I did not have any other seventh graders.
I had 7 new kids that were not.
Yeah, no, I just mean in all the
coming to
grades.
kindergarten.
Yeah, so the, so.
7?
7.
It's too many.
I just. I
I
don't,
see your point, but now that had
it's
zero
not
capacity.
fair if
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
we're over capacity and we're gonna accept this kid when we had 0 capacity and we turn these other kids away. That's kinda, I don't wanna,
But last
I mean,
week when
where's
we
that
talked to
line?
mom, we had the capacity.
We did.
That's the problem.
well, and that's
And
what
that
I'm.
can happen whether we have the deadline or not. That's
So that
what
was my
stinks.
question, so yes, we did, she didn't get that email, but we did have the capacity at that time, when we
Yes.
sent the email, okay, that one.
Exactly. All right, I make a motion to
did have
approve
it.
the 3 students and make an amendment to the policy to indicate that after June 30th, they'll be handled on a case-by-case basis until the funding cut off.
I'll second.
Motion second.
Yeah.
All in favor?
There's 3, there was an 7.6.
You in favor? Okay.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, sorry, there's
All
2
right,
there.
building needs assessment and state assessment review.
Okay,
no, you're good.
each year we provide you with a building needs assessment for your review. There's a lot of information in there. You do not have to approve anything tonight. This is something we will approve before you approve the budget. However, each building principal fills out a needs assessment. With all those questions in there, there's some data in there. There's as well as some more opinion-based questions about teaching and learning, facility needs, things like that, for you to make considerations when we then adopt the budget. The state assessment review, I will get that to you as well. And that's just reviewing our data and then giving you recommendations on what our needs are for state assessment. So you don't need to make any, take any action on this tonight, but if you have questions tonight, you guys can discuss what you've read tonight. If you need a little more time to read it, then you have some more time, because I know it's a lengthy document. So, but if you have questions, go ahead, you can pose them. I've got my principals all here. We work on these as a team. And yeah, if you have any clarifications, a couple of you sent me some questions, but we got some clarifications, but
We don't need to,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
as long as there's clear.
Yeah, there's just a number of clarification we got worked out on chronic absenteeism. So this is just a process that the state instituted a couple years back to give us really some guidelines to really think about what our needs are each year when we think about adopting a budget and so things aren't cost prohibitive or cost enhancing for the needs that we have, so. If you have questions, if you wanna think of more questions or as you're reading it and bring them to the next meeting right before we adopt the budget, we can do that as well. I'll give you some more time. I know you've only had since Friday to read it, so there's a lot in there. Do you have any questions, Amy?
Yes,
Go ahead.
I'll wait till September. I need to look.
You can ask a
I have
couple.
lots of things written down, just thoughts I have, so I will, I need to organize my thoughts.
You sure?
Questions and things.
Okay, we've got time if you wanna.
No, she's got
Oh, you
seven.
got-
She's got
okay.
7 minutes.
Okay, I'm sorry. You got 8 minutes. You have 8 minutes, okay, all right,
A few things, not nothing.
okay.
Anybody else?
I have a question, and this is just because I'm just looking at this page right now. I know like last year we did, like breakfast with PK, like, are we doing that again? Are they gonna do like breakfast?
Yeah.
Or the afternoon gonna do lunch?
So we are not doing an afternoon lunch because it'll cut into their time so much. I
Okay.
can't count lunchtime as academic time as we go through that process. But we are offering breakfast. I sent a survey out to my pre-K 3 parents to see how many of them will be eating breakfast. I've heard back from 15 of them so far, and of those 15, 11 have said yes. And I'm gonna reach out again to see if any more of them were doing that. We are planning to have them, we're gonna serve them just like we serve our other students. They're gonna have 2 choices. We've printed out pictures, cause I don't want 3-year-old to say, oh, you only get this choice, but sister gets this choice, and we cause a meltdown. So we printed pictures of all the lunch choices, and they will choose them. They'll come and sit in the breakfast area at a table together. We will go get their breakfast and bring it to them.
Okay.
Yeah,
We
so,
served about 11 last year, so.
yeah.
But we
Don't have time to do lunch.
Yeah, and so lunch, they come, it starts at 12:15. So if I brought that, we would have to bring them in earlier And then we would have to get that part. And they also, and it's not something, we're not doing it this year. It's not something we can't look into. But Tasha did say that there are several different state regulations in regard to lunch for pre-K students, versus there were several changes, she said. So at this
Most
point,
schools that do
yeah.
preschool lunch have full day preschool programs, or they have like a childcare facility on site that partners with their preschool, so they're there. I know a lot of schools that do lunch for preschool do that, but we'll look into the changeover because there's about an hour time there. So.
All I have right now.
You ready to move on? Any questions? Okay, meeting change date, 7/28, April.
Yes, I have a conflict that I already know about for the April board meeting, for personal reasons. So I was just gonna let you know, either you can conduct the board meeting without me, or since it's only August, maybe we could move the meeting date if possible to either the first or third Wednesday of the month instead of the second. Or you can do it without me, whichever you wanna do. I prefer to be at the meetings, but
I don't know.
They're usually open sports ones and stuff. But Wednesdays are usually-
What's April 7th?
I'm sorry to do
It's the
this.
first Wednesday of
Yeah.
April.
I mean, it's fine.
I didn't look at the district calendar.
It would be the 7th or the 21st.
I'm the only one that doesn't bring my phone in, so I just sit here and stare.
If you've got something for April already
I don't like
scheduled,
it
you're a good
anyway.
planner.
I wish I could do it.
I was gonna say, I'm probably going to have something. That's why I brought it early, so I thought maybe we could make it work. If not, I could sit Carrie up here and she could fill in.
locked his up.
Yeah.
I actually saw you
move the
I'm not changing it, it won't bother me.
What do you have a preference, earlier versus later?
No, either, I'm fine, any of those, actually, any of the Wednesdays besides the day of the board meeting.
No, they will be in April. Earlier or later one.
Of course, you would ask me that.
I would rather do it earlier.
I think so
No, I think
Let's do it
we're-
early.
It
gets,
That's
Right.
would have a chance to accumulate and pay
Oh.
bills
Good point. If we do it later in the month,
later.
okay, later's better for billing and
Okay.
payments for vendors, so that's good, good point.
So the 21st.
There's a junior high choir concert on the 21st.
And a fifth grade on the 7th.
See?
That's April though, I would tell you, it's always April.
We should do this on the-
Same, but-
That's April.
Or we could do this.
Ah, no.
How many of you does that affect?
Seventh would affect me, but.
5th and 7th grade, you said?
Fifth grade is on the 7th, and then 6th through 8 is on the 21st.
They would both affect me, so.
So it's gonna affect somebody.
Oh, yeah, it affects
So-
both Stephanie both times.
Fun, but not, it is what it is.
There's only 3 weeks in between, I guess. It'd be the 21st, the 12th. 3 Wednesdays.
Either way. Either before 3 weeks or after 3 weeks.
No.
Right.
No,
In
because
March,
there's
but-
5 Wednesdays in March.
Oh, are there?
Yeah, with the 31st.
Well, it doesn't have to be a Wednesday either, does it?
That's true.
Now you're gonna get into
Yeah.
softball.
Okay, yeah.
Even if
Track.
that's something to affect you.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Wednesday's your
What
safest
we
day of the
typically
week.
do in April, is that something that we have to do here for, would be something big? We just-
I can make sure there's
We can
not,
try to-
I can try to get that done in March or
Get-
May,
so we
yeah,
can
I've
get-
missed a meeting, I've missed one other meeting before, and I think you guys survived just fine.
Nah,
You're very
if you
capable.
guys wanna make it, so
Board.
we'll work out.
Yeah, let's look at calendars and see who them out.
We don't have, and yes, we can, you
Think
wanna
about it
wait
and
till
come back next-
September or
yeah.
October?
We can wait
Yep,
till
I just wanted to
May.
give you a heads up that I would
Yeah.
have a conflict.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Okay,
You got
okay.
2 minutes.
Let's think about it.
no problem.
All right. Safe
Table
and
that.
secure schools grant.
Yes, we want another grant. $6,669. Andy applied for the Safe and Secure Schools grant. They used to give a lot more. They've kind of diminished funds over time. The state has on this. They've cut back on certain things you can use it for. So we're already doing camera upgrades, so it's a 1-to-1 match. So we'll just spend the amount we were gonna spend on the cameras, and we'll get $6,669 to help offset that cost. So that's what we're going to do with, the security, cameras that we're rotating out that are pretty old, and get some replacements, so.
Much needed.
We have some very, very old ones that we replaced, so. Thanks, Andy.
Let's get an action, we got 30 seconds.
Okay, take some action.
You wanna make that action?
You wanna make the big one?
I make a motion.
Reading the student.
I'll make a motion to approve the 6,669 grant for safe and secure schools.
All right, we have a motion right
I'll
here.
second.
Jamie second, all in favor?
Thank you.
Excuse me.
Bye.
Careful.
Bye.
Drive safe. Use your brights.
All right, that brings us to 7:10, bond election discussion.
I wanted to put an agenda item on here for discussion, to talk about the election results. We do not have the certified results yet. I know they canvassed on Monday. Amy said they usually didn't send out the letter, so we haven't received the letter yet. So we'll get official results. Obviously, you've probably seen WIBW or anybody else that's done reporting. And so I just kind of wanted to talk to you about, for one, the taxing information I put out today. I know there's people getting their statements in the mail, looking at them, going, oh my gosh, what is this, with USD 434 levy funds. I just put out some information today to let everybody know that that is required by law in July for us to notify the county if we plan to exceed revenue neutral. Obviously, if the bond would have passed, we would have had those new mills on that bond fund. So we had to put that out. They kept that in the proposed. That will fall off and not result in net taxation for the bond. So the bond mills will be what will be presented for the budget to pay off the remaining bond that we have currently. So I wanted to bring that up to you. I did mention the high school foundation and some of the things that were in the bond. We will just go ahead and move forward with bringing recommendations on those projects, especially a lot of the deferred maintenance stuff and some of the larger projects that were in those bonds, in that bond proposal, and bring those to you as we can and phase in. I will now move forward also with a long-range capital outlay plan. Like I told you before, after we did that facilities assessment, we had put that stage on pause until we knew about how we were going to run this bond and what we were going to propose in the bond. So I'm going to go ahead and move forward with that second phase of that facilities assessment, which is usually they do a 5 to 10 year long-range capital outlay plan for our entire district and the remaining facilities to take care of. So I'll get that taken care of, and then the board here needs to just maybe talk about your reflections on the bond and the proposal and the project. What you're thinking about moving forward. We obviously don't have to make any decisions today, but if there's anything else you would like me to do for you moving forward with reconfiguration, thinking about our district's future, declining enrollment, and some of the other things that will still remain and exist as concerns for the district. So I'm just gonna leave this time for you guys to chat and discuss.
Any thoughts? I mean, I think Michelle and I had a discussion earlier that, this was not something that the board can decide. It was up to the voters.
Yeah.
We asked them yes or no, and they said no.
Yeah.
So we need to move on. We need to find a different way.
And I think
And that's what we'll do. We'll, like you say, we'll break it out piece by piece or whatever. As far as reconfiguration needs, when it comes, we'll have to look at that.
And I think the
Just move
takeaway,
forward.
yeah,
Continue
like
to
the
do
good, the
the best
bad,
we
the
can.
ugly, of kind of what we learned from the process of it. Thank you, everybody that worked on it and everything, and all your time and effort, but yeah, I think it's just a matter of, we still have needs that we're gonna have to meet, so I don't think this is I don't want to close this discussion on a bond. But obviously, I think we need to reevaluate, what we're gonna do. And obviously make changes and things like that, but.
Well, as we go into a new school year, it's always my duty as superintendent to engage the public. I can have some additional, I can go around and have some additional community meetings, some reflections of the bond if you'd like. If you want to wait a little bit to do that, we can wait.
just kind of see where we're at. That's up to you if you'd like me to engage in some additional community time. I'm happy to do that. I know we've done that for the last 3 years, so I'll leave that up to you.
Might not be a bad idea while things are fresh to get the community's feel for things. I mean, obviously.
We brought this to where we was on the bond because of the people that showed up the last several years.
That's the hard part,
That's what
is
we
it a
heard.
waste of time
That
because,
happened to be the minority, obviously. I mean, it's not,
Right.
nobody was wrong or anything, but
Yeah.
that's why we
That's
did.
very
We didn't do
true,
it to
Karen.
make anybody mad, which it
But
seemed we
maybe
did.
now people will be more willing to come forward.
I would like to say, people to come in and
Just to
say,
see
hey,
what they
this is
want. I
what we
understand
would
you
like
said
to
no,
see,
it's
because that's
fine.
what we was
But we
doing.
just need
Yeah.
to know what
Is
you
what
want
the
to do
feedback
different.
we got.
Sure, that's fine.
And there's lots of options, as we
Very
know, there's
good
lots of
point.
options to consider, lots of projects to consider, different ways to do this. This is just the one that we've settled on through a process and put it out to vote, and so.
And I think, I mean, and obviously, we know now, I know there was a lot of discussion had before, that it ran. But now I just feel like we can gauge a little bit better and we truly know where everybody stands and stuff and have a little more in-depth conversations too. I don't know. Hopefully productive conversations.
So I know maybe you're probably not gonna know this off the top of your head, we've been through so many different like scenarios and like what we could do, so I know that when we were keeping all 4 buildings, it was gonna be, and just upgrading them, like what they needed done was still gonna be the same amount as, like, it was still gonna be around 26 million, I remember that number being the same. What was it with the 3 buildings, do we remember?
I think it was 11.
There was various,
But
I'd have to go back and look at all
Well, I
of
know
our
in
stuff,
the
but there was
HT
various.
HTK told us that there's about $11 million worth of about deferred maintenance between the 3 facilities. That did not include Scranton, and that did not include some additional, some of the larger projects. That was just some basic ADA upgrades, that was some roofs and foundation issues, elevator, some of those things that were written in there as those extra pieces beyond the addition and the new construction. So
Those were not included, the elevator and whatnot? or
No,
those
those
were?
were.
Oh, okay.
those were, yeah, so as I go through long-range capital outlay plan 2, we can pinpoint some more price points for you on each building and where we want to navigate on prioritizing projects that we have. HTK can work on that with me, also the people that ran a facilities assessment for me as well. So there's lots of ways to go about this. That doesn't mean if you guys wanted to entertain a bond down the road for more facility upgrades or deferred maintenance type projects, we could do that as well if you wanted to entertain that. Reconfiguration was the feedback that I got from most of the parents on dissatisfaction on where our current grade levels are. My only hesitation on some of that is what the costs are to do the various options that we're hearing out there. I know we want an elementary school, or we want multiple elementary schools, or we want a middle school, or we want multiple middle schools in each town. So there's things we can afford and there's things we absolutely cannot afford. So when we're thinking about reconfiguration, we got to think about as what we can afford with the best of learning environment possible that we can get. So that's the hard part with reconfiguration, is there is limited options on that, I believe, based on affordability with the funds we have and declining enrollment. So that would be the piece that I would, if we really want to look at where we're going to place kids in school buildings and how we afford that and what that looks like. I think that's more limited than taking care of deferred maintenance. That's an easy, like, we can look at exactly what that is, how much that costs. I think the other things are gonna be very pricey for the amount of students we still have and using the space to be the most efficient with our dollars and not just pay for buildings all the time and put money into kids. So that's my opinion. Obviously, the board gets to decide what type of projects we do for a bond, and then the community gets to decide. I'm just as your superintendent and what I know about our data and our dollars and what I see in enrollment. And you're right, I don't have a crystal ball. Maybe we get some big boom and we get a lot of kids show up, and I guess we could wait to see if that would happen, but, I have 30 years of data that shows me that's not what's happening or what has not happened in the last 30 years.
Do we have deadlines that we have to meet for like ADA stuff or?
Oh, a lot of these things were grandfathered into, except for things like elevator, fire, some of those safety mechanisms. They eventually make you get up to a code and inspection. So some of those we are grandfathered in, but some, I'll put those on our priority list.
Yes.
Yeah, especially elevators, but those
Well, and
things are
also the
not gonna be cheap.
foundation, cause I feel like at what point is the fire marshal gonna walk in and say this?
Yeah.
this is
That's
safe?
top priority. I'm just telling you, I'm gonna
Yes,
bring
that
that
is a top
recommendation to you
priority.
ASAP. But it won't just be the flooring and the voids below the building. It's gonna be the structural pieces of inside the building, the walls, the ceilings, the drainage system on the roof. There will then probably be some electrical things we're gonna have to deal with the conduits under the building and what that flowable fill does, because they are literally going to raise up that floating floor as it's starting to sink in those voids. But we will fill it, so that will satisfy that problem. But I'll have him talk, obviously, too. He can tell you a lot more about that process, but it's not just the foundation pieces. There's all these other things that go along with that problem.
And is that a temporary fix?
No, I think it'll last a very, very long time. I'm not saying it won't ever break down, but I think it's
just didn't know, yeah.
there's a long.
Or if we're just putting a Band-Aid on it and
from
not
the
the.
deteriorating drain pipes.
Right, and maybe he can talk about how this isn't a problem that's been ignored, it's truly a problem that isn't a problem until then it's there and it's pretty big, right?
Yeah, as I've told everybody, I've been in this position, 3 years. And it was last year that we started noticing mostly the interior structural issues that were the walls separating from the ceiling. And this year, it exploded, it got bad, and where Kyle was worried a wall was gonna fall down in his office. So it hasn't been a big knowledge of mine. I was aware of a small void we had on the very front of the building where the 83 meets the 96 addition out there that we did have filled. They fixed a water pipe underneath there and then backfilled it and fixed it. And that is all I was aware of that has been really looked into, anything done about that I can find record of. So here's the thing, I can't live in the past of what I have or have not done. I can only move forward with what we can do now. And I will do that. That's my job. So
That's what
I
I'm
don't
saying.
feel like we've been neglectful. We do a lot of projects. There's a lot of things that we take into consideration when I bring recommendations to you. There are structural things that we have to do all the time, but there's also things we do for kids, right? We have classrooms and learning spaces where all our kids exist, whether that's in our gyms, in our weight rooms, in our classrooms, in our technology. All those things come out of capital outlay because we can't take it all out of the general fund. Some of our athletic, little pieces of our athletics come out of there because reconditioning football helmets can be up to $20,000-$30,000, and those are required by law to get reconditioned and purchase new ones every so often. And we can't take all of that out of the general and supplemental funds that's where we pay all of our people. So we have to balance and offset all these funds, and there's only certain allowable expenses out of that capital outlay fund. So I'm trying to be careful on some of that. And we also take a lot of maintenance out of the general fund too. So, because it's not a large fund, so.
Like, one thing I would like to make sure of is that we keep, like, the reconfiguration of grade levels just for academic reasons and teaching and learning. I feel like
It's a top priority.
It is, and it's something I want to ignore, and I don't know. I mean, if 2 campuses is not what the community wants, then what are other options to still make that happen?
Sure, and there were some 3 campus options that we did look at.
And maybe we need to go back and look at some of those, and I know one of them that came from HTD was not one that I expected.
It was splitting a primary and an upper level elementary, right, and putting the middle school out here still, yeah. That
So I
was
mean,
one.
I feel like that's important. And I don't wanna.
And there's others, you could put 6, 7, and 8 over at Overbrook, you can put K5 here, but what facility changes are we going to need? What will that cost? Athletics, parking, you gotta look at what kind of kids you have there, what time of, so there's a lot of things that we can consider, absolutely, yes. And we talked a lot about those during our steering committee meetings.
Right.
HDK presented a multitude of options, some of the nuances we got into of, you know, where's the library go and where does the, so, you know, there's a lot of questions that, we just need some time to be answered, with some more committee work and how you guys want me to conduct a process.
So I wanted to talk about too, because I know with the other bond gonna be falling off soon, like I know that was a thing I saw on Facebook and whatnot too. People say, well, we're already paying for a bond, and that was kind of the point that I don't think that the public understood too, is that we wanted to roll over into another bond.
Sure.
And I don't know that the public really understood like the reasoning for that.
Right, so
as far
the
as
cash
the
carried
money.
over from an existing bond to then pay off a more expensive bond in that, both your premium and your interest, right? Is that our financial advisor said to take this one before it falls off and drops off, you go ahead and use that cash carryover to then put this into a completed bond. It'd be no different if we let it drop off and those 4 mils dropped off and we added the 18. It still is going to add up. It was just what you're gonna do with your cash to then be able to pay your premiums and your interest for the new bond. So that was the advisement, as to how to best use the district's cash. As a taxpayer and stakeholder, I don't think it was gonna make too much difference if you let the bond fall off, pay it off, and then have the 18 mils versus a 13 mil increase on top of the 4. So however you look at it, it wasn't to hurt the taxpayer versus use that cash to help pay off a more expensive bond that's financed at a different rate. So if that makes sense. Clayton could probably explain it a little bit better than me, but that's kind of the gist of it. So yes, the bond will be paid off soon, and then those mills will fall off if we don't run a bond before June. So or if a successful bond passes. Sorry. So yeah, and that will give some tax relief for that bond to fall off if there's not another one to roll. So you consider that as well. You know, if you don't want to run another bond, and that will take those mills off of our budget and give some tax relief to our patrons.
I mean, I think in reality, nobody wants to run a bond. It's just got a lot
I
of
just
big,
think
a
it's
lot of big fixes around here. That we
It's a
can afford.
reality to a lot of small
Yeah.
districts and business. I mean, Wichita's running a $665 million bond in November. So large districts do it. And they're doing a lot of right sizing and reconfiguring themselves because they've had declining enrollment. They're a 45,000 student plus district, and they've had to close buildings and community things and move kids around to make it work, or use their bigger schools and close some of their smaller ones. So it's not just a Santa Fe Trail issue. St. Francis, little tiny district out there, have a very small capital outlay budget, and they have buildings that are very old and can't afford it out of their capital outlay to take care of them, and they ran a $30 million bond successfully. You know, and some don't pass, and they never pass. There's districts that have never passed a bond, and so they just have to do the best they can with what they've got. They write grants. I write grants all the time. I'm absolutely willing to look into grants for facility upgrades and updates. They're out there. They're out there. We've received some in the past. So we've brought, I mean, just in my time here, we've brought well over $1 million in grants to the district. So we could look into some facility grants as well. So there's lots of options, but we can continue to talk about this. We don't have to make any decisions or anything. I just wanted to give you some time to reflect on the bond, and if there's anything you want me to do at this time in consideration of enrollment and reconfiguration and facilities.
I have a question, and I can't remember if we've discussed this before, or if it's a silly question or whatnot, but like as far as, you know, like fixing the high school out here, is that not like something like an insurance claim, or is it because it's like a leak off of our roof that caused it? Like what?
I think it's an our problem.
It's an our
I think
problem.
it's
I
an
mean,
our
I'm pretty
problem.
sure I already knew that, but
Yeah, I mean, rain and water are causing it, but it's
from an
because it's from
it's from a roof issue.
That's what
It's from a couple broken drains and some other utilities under the building. So if there was hail damage up there, I could probably get you a new roof. But I didn't see any when I was walking over there yesterday.
We'll hammer to ping at the.
And I make Greg look at every time he walks on a roof,
Yes.
finds. So, no, I don't think it's an insurance.
I didn't,
This
I
time, but
can't remember
but I
if we
do-
discussed that or not.
yeah, so.
I guess the other thing is, I would like, how can we get more community feedback? Because obviously, the community was not in favor for the bond, so I know we had community meetings, but obviously.
Well, it didn't just come down just to the sheer amount.
Right,
I
like
mean,
I
was
just
that,
feel like
was
we
that?
Oh, I'm sure that was a lot of
I know that
people's,
was a big,
um,
obviously that was a huge part of it.
I think
but-
there's
But I don't think
there's
that's all
multitude
it
of
is.
reasons.
And I feel like I mean, we need to get as much, and maybe we didn't get enough, I don't know.
School closures is a big one, I will
Right.
say that, closing schools and running a bond is a hard sell for some people.
No.
Oh, that's Andy's.
Andy's TV show.
The screen went black.
Oh, I didn't know if it was Andy, maybe I just told them.
So I know when,
Yeah.
I know when we're talking about school closures, that's a challenge, that's very challenging. The dollar amount, and then I saw the county, obviously, up their mill, that doesn't help. I think there was some people that, the middle school was a hang up for some.
No, they told me
I
to touch
know
it.
that-
I just told you not to touch anything.
Yeah,
Like, what
maybe
do you
we can
mean?
get some of these people involved in
We're winning over
the
here.
county commissioner meetings and getting some businesses and things like that, because a lot of the burden falls on the
It
taxpayers.
does, it absolutely
On the
does.
patrons,
On the
not-
homeowners and
Yes, the
and the landowners,
homeowners.
yeah, it
And
does.
so, I mean, I think it goes so much further than just our board where the issues are, and we can only do so much as a board, so.
Okay. All right, well, at this time, I will just kind of table it, continue the discussion. If there's anything else we need to do, can let me know. Okay,
Yeah, we definitely need to find out the cost of the.
yeah, I'll bring facilities, things to do. Okay.
You good? Okay. Justin, will we the executive session, anything, 30 minutes?
Yeah.
30 minutes, everybody? 30? With, Lizzie and Worley.
Okay. Mr. President, I move we go into executive session to discuss personnel employment pursuant to the non-elected personnel exception under coma, and the open meeting will resume in the boardroom at 8:52 with Ms. Bolt and Ms. O present, and Ms. Ford.
No.
No, Ms.
No, no.
Ford. My apologies, Ms. Ford will not be present.
Okay, what, we have a motion, we have a second?
I'll second it.
We kind of had three.
Oh,
Who's
sorry.
first?
She,
No,
Michelle, second, all right, all in
I was
favor?
doing all already.
All right.
motion to uphold the previous decision on a formal complaint.
Okay, we have a motion, second, all in favor? Thank you. 9.0, do we have a 3 next report?
Yeah, we had a meeting Monday. New director was there. I feel like things are getting going and really we are staffed, I feel like.
Yeah, we're staffed.
But,
Talked about para raises,
yes.
talked about, settlements on negotiations, well, they settled.
They settled as well.
Bill's done a really great job of just putting out information. He's been around to meet everybody. He's got a newsletter to push out. He's asked to come to our administrative team meetings. So I think he's gonna do a great job. We're very excited and to see him get started and get staff back in the buildings and work towards always improvement in our special education department. So
yeah,
quality staff, retention, hiring good people. He's talked a lot about that.
They're not in the same insurance pool.
They're in Kite, which I would like to get
Oh,
in.
that would be nice,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they tell me how great their rates are.
Rub salt in the wound.
Yeah. So.
All we got?
Yep, that's it.
All right, we're adjourned.